Hello, fellow music lovers of YouTube. How's it going with you guys? Music fan here, and I just found out that I actually speak much better without glasses than with them. So I don't know how that happens, but I think I am gonna film my reviews without my glasses from now on. But anyway. Today I'm going to be talking about at the Drive-In's Coachella performance and also Linkin Park's new single "Burn It Down," which was released yesterday. So let's get to At the Drive-In. The band's performance in the Coachella Festival, which was this past Sunday, apart from the whole scheduling conflict which arose in at that time, uh, their very first real public performance in almost a decade, more than a decade actually, and minus the few warm-up reunion shows that they did in Texas earlier last week. So as to what I think of how the performance went, I really liked it. It was really awesome. It was great. They uh, most of the band members now are in their 30s, so it's, I mean, one complaint that people have had with with their performances recently is the fact that they're not as energetic as they were in the past. You know, Meaning that they don't that Cedric doesn't swing his mic around, doesn't do that much acrobatic flipping around, and even Omar doesn't really swing his guitar around anymore. He doesn't. All he's been doing is just standing there, strumming the guitar away, and not really much doing much of anything. And and as a response as a resp- as my response to those particular complaints, it's they you also has to be really understood that Omar's mother has passed away uh, late last month, and so when that happens, that really puts a damper on your day, on what you're trying to do. Um, People react very differently to loss. Some people can use it as motivation and just get right back into the swing of things. For other people, it takes much more longer to get over the loss of a loved one. So other criticisms have been going around that, oh, they've been reuniting for money. They don't sound into it. They like they look very unenergetic or whatever. And and like, I mean, yeah, I mean, artists really do want money. They do want to uh, they do need it to pay and to survive and whatnot. But that being said, you know, from my perspective of looking into the show, I thought they were really into it. I mean, especially Tony, Paul, and especially Jim seemed very into it. Even though Omar didn't really look that interested, he did smile. He did chuckle a few times. Which is quite a comparison to the earlier warm up show that they did, which he was just standing there mute and like this. No disrespect at all to the guy though, considering that of his lost loved one. So my condolences go out to the Rodriguez family, and my thoughts go out to them. So anyway, so other than that, Cedric really performed really well at this performance. He, like, despite the fact that they haven't played together at the drive-in songs together in more than a decade, then it's natural that they come out really rusty at some point. But Cedric, oh my gosh, Cedric, he I don't know how to describe it though. It's indescribable. Like, because of his singing tenure in the Mars Volta, he sings more with these songs, playing at the drive-in songs now than he did in the past. And some people have been moaning around saying that, oh, Cedric doesn't scream anymore. Uh, uh, I think that's kind of unfair. Like, I mean, sure, I wouldn't. I'd probably be lying if I said that I didn't share a similar sentiment. I am a little bit bummed that he isn't screaming anymore. But that being said, um, Dave, he like the rest of the band members, he's kind of mature. He's grown up at this point, and also due to the fact that they're not doing drugs anymore, that like they did before their breakup. Um, but even still, they do try to replace the energetic, drugged up youth of their pre-breakup era with with the mature performance of how they did in the warm-up shows and Coachella. And I have to say that, for for a band like them, who hasn't played together in almost a decade, I thought they did really, really well. Cedric was, did a really great job at going back to his throwback days in their pre-breakup era. Was really just like crawling on the stage, like almost eating up the mic in his mouth, jumping off Tony's kick drum, even jumping off amplifiers. Like, I mean, it was quite a throwback to his earlier days. And Jim Ward looked like he was really into it. He smiled at some points, and Paul's bass playing in Quarantine during the show was just phenomenal. It was just amazing. So, other than that, apart from their rustiness because they haven't performed much together, they're only trying to get back into their flow, into their swing. Does it mean that they'll be as energetic as they were before? No. Does it mean that that Cedric is going to be screaming like he used to be? Maybe, maybe not. But I for one, I'm thankful that they're at least playing together, music, and out there performing it for people to begin with anyway, whether they're doing this for money or not. And as far as that goes, I was really satisfied with the performance. It was really awesome. It was fantastic, and not quite up to par with with the shows in the past. But like I said, they are trying to get back into their swing, into their flow. So other than that, I really liked the Coachella performance. It was great. Now, let me quickly go into Linkin Park. Now, they've released their new single called "Burn It Down" yesterday, and if you've read interviews that Mike Shinoda and Chester Bennington have done prior to the single release, they describe the song and the rest of the album, titled "Living Things," which will be released in June, as kind of like a sort of a throwback to their old metal sound, but fused together with the electronicness experimentation of A Thousand Suns, and just fusing those two extremes together. And like I said in my announcement review, that's very interesting. And I spent all day yesterday listening to Burn It Down, repeatedly, over and over and over again, nonstop. And I really like Burn It Down. It's a really good song. Like it has like, it starts off with this synth part in the beginning, and then it goes into these like electronic pings in the middle, in the beginning, like do 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 do. I'm gonna post a video on the description bar below, so that way you guys can hear it for yourselves rather than having me babble like an idiot. So, I mean, I think Burn It Down is really evocative of their interviews, of how they say the album's going to sound like. It and to be honest, I think it reminds me less of Hybrid Theory and more of Meteora. That the song is very, very Meteora-like for me when I heard it for the very first time. Uh, two complaints though that I have with the song, and one And the first one I have is the song's time length. It's way too short. It's very short. It's like it's not shorter than the average Linkin Park song, but it is under 4 minutes, slightly under 4 minutes. But my complaint with that is that between the chorus and the second verse, there's very little time to kind of let the listener digest the the music, because the music is very electronic. It really gives you like a really dancey type of electronic feel to it, and it's really awesome. And my second complaint is Mike Shinoda's rapping. He he returns to MCing. He returns to rapping with this song, and again, it reminds me a lot of his rapping in Meteora. And I don't have a problem with Mike Shinoda's rapping, but the one problem I have is that he has way less time on rapping in that song than he has in the past. He has way too much short of a time. I really would have liked it better if there was like a few more bars, or like if he a little slightly longer, because lyrically the song is a throwback to relationships in comparison to the socially conscious, slightly political leanings that they took with their last two albums. But you know the song "New Divide," that's a very length. It's not as long as the Catalyst, but it is a fairly structured enough song to, I think, to be both satisfying to the listener and also to the radio. And um, that's, I think if I think the song would have been better if it was slightly longer, like probably a little bit over 4 minutes, probably at least maybe like 4 and 10 minutes, or 4 minutes and 10 seconds longer at least. And because this song is way too short. I really feel that it it was a little bit rushed. Like, it's not an experience that you can kind of cement yourself in the music and in the lyrics as well. And I'm not trying to say that I want it to be like the Catalyst, or it has to be as long as that song, because that song is a little bit over 5 minutes. But I think it would have been better if it was a much more longer and more reasonable time. So, because I felt that the song was really rushed to meet radio stations and whatnot. Not that I have a problem with radio stations, but I think it would have been better if it was a little slightly longer than that. But other than those two complaints, like, the song is really good. The song's really awesome. Like I said before, it's electronic dance rock. It really has like a dancey groove, a dancey feel to it. When you listen to the song, and overall, I really like it. The song's really good and really driving, really energetic. Not as angry or energetic as One Step Closer or Crawling, but it is, and it does have an energy to it. So So that being said, I'm looking forward to Living Things. I am quite questionable though of the title, because it seems like a really non-Linkin Park title to name an album. I really thought they were gonna do. I really thought they were gonna name the album something a little bit more epic, more grandiose. Not necessarily like A Thousand Suns, but at least something a little bit more epic. But that's the name of their album. So I'm not objecting much to that. I can't wait for this album. I'm looking forward to listening to it. So yeah, there's my thoughts on After Driving to Linkin Park. Look at the description bar below for both the Coachella and Linkin Park. And I will be filming In Casino out shortly. Hopefully I'll be posting it very soon. So look out for that. And so this is Music Fan signing out. See you guys next time.